Alright, welcome. This is Nick Green presenting Let's Learn Japanese, course series for the self-study of Japanese from basics and beginnings up to intermediate and hopefully advanced. Yeah, so this is kind of unusual now, but this is a, what I'm trying, as the title is going to show up above, it's adding a light novel to Anki. And we're going to be going through kind of the steps to kind of, simplify it depending on how you want to do it. This way you're not like grabbing sentences. If you ever seen, the reason why we want to put it into Morphman is just so that put into Anki so you can utilize Morphman in order to find the I+1 sentences a lot easier. Now in the video description I don't have any of the links listed yet. I will be adding those in a little bit, or maybe. Yeah, and yeah, since this is live, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be making mistakes, so bear with me on this. First things first is the programs you're probably going to need are, I'm going to recommend is this here, which is a program called Notepad++. So it's just a good program to have regardless. So kind of grab hold of that, and you're going to also want to get make sure you've updated your Anki plugin of Morphman to the latest version of Morphman. Also, you want to get Unideck, and again, hopefully I'll try to include the links there. Or if you don't want to wait for that, do a search for Navy Dave's or Otaku Dave's videos on Morphman. His latest video includes the links. In fact, a lot of his videos are the reason why I started using Morphman, and a lot of the mistakes I made were fixed just by watching the videos he made. And so again, it got me into using Morphman as a part of the studying session, and yeah, I definitely appreciate that. It got me back into studying vocabulary seriously again, in the last couple of months or so. All right. Also, the reason why I'm saying this with Kimi no Nawa, this is the fifth, let's read type. I did a let's read on this over a year ago, and so this is the fifth let's read that I'm adding into Anki using via Morphman. And again, my ultimate goal is to get all the way up to the 16th or the 16 or so let's reads that I've, sources that I've done for let's reads on those. All those are either light novels, transcripts, or actually subtitles of certain TV shows. Yeah. All right, so let's begin. First thing you need to do is get Kimi no Nawa as a book. Now, when I'm saying book, I mean physical book. This is all nice and all. Again, I purchased this locally since I lived in Japan, but this isn't going to help do you much good. So if you do have, the reason why I'm having this is because the next thing is going to it's going to be questionable. I'll put it that way. Do a search. Let's say there's a daily Japanese thread of discussions somewhere on the internet. Let's say a 4chan or whatnot. So there's this discussion on there, and somebody on there decided to collect some resources. So if you do a search and try to find a place like that, you might run into a website, and on there is going to be a library, and on this library is going to be a collection of, let's say, novels, Japanese novels of questionable origins. But let's say you do get there and find it by chance, and again, since you already see I physically own the book, so here we go. So you come here, Shosetsu Kimi no Nawa. All right, so I go there and I go there, and yeah, so here's the book. So you probably see me use this before. Again, I just use it with Yomi-chan, and I can highlight over words. But what you can also do is let's just copy it all. So let's start right here, right, and go all the way down to the bottom. I don't worry about that stuff at the top. And I just want everything but the after. I don't want the afterwards, the otogaki, this part right here. I don't care too much about that. Let's see, yeah, right there. So I just want to do up to there. So now just copy the whole book. All right, I can copy that. Then you can bring up. Now I've already copied this, but I mean, if you see what happens is I'm not copying the furigana. That doesn't carry over. That's good. You want to try to avoid carrying over furigana because it's going to mess up the Morphman. So by doing it this way, also since the furigana is stripped out, then you're just left with text like this. So I don't need to repaste it. So just assume I've already repasted it. Cool. Now I've got this. Now what I did is I save it, and there's a method to my madness for so right now these are all the these 4 shows are the ones I've already added into Morphman. Zetai Kereshi, Hanayori Dango, Zero no Tsukaima, Yusei no Kizuna. Alright, and so this was the 5th one. So that's what I have right now. Now what happens is, if I show you that, let me just show you what Zero no Tsukaima looks like. Let me just bring it up here. Now, it looks about normal, but if you look here, oh look, they're all single sentences. Alright, each line is a sentence, of varying length. So that's what we have to do. We have to turn that into what I did with Zero Alright, so the first thing I do is, well, I just look for question marks. So I do, this is where do search, and let's just say, let's talk about replace. And so let's do a quick search for that right there, and I'm just, so that's a big question mark and the end of the asterisk. And if you don't know, if you want, you can just scroll through and find it real quick, because it's going to be popping up, like right there. Let's say I'll copy that. Cool. And I'll paste it there, and I'm also going to paste it down here with replace. Now, but the trick is I'm going to replace that question mark with a different font question mark, and this way that question mark never gets found again. And I'm just going to replace. Now, the reason behind this, just to explain, is I don't want to separate these into lines. Reason is because you'll find these in the middle of sentences. So this is part of a quotation. So that one, I don't want that broken up into sentences. I don't want quotes broken up into sentences, because I want the little bit that's carry on afterwards. So that's the first thing I replace. So I'm just going to, now when you're doing this, make sure you always start at the top and just say, just safely, just say find next. All right, it's cool. So I'm just going to say replace all. All right, 189 times that got replaced. Awesome. I'm going to do a very similar thing with, let's see if they got it here. Yeah, right there. I'm going to do very similar with the exclamation mark. Let's see, do I have it? All right, so I've already had these saved, so that's why I'm just speeding up. So again, stay at the top. Just find it real quick. Cool. So these are the things you want to replace. So replace all. Awesome. Okay, now they're all replaced, and that happened 204 times. All right. Next thing we want to do is next thing I want to do is replace these periods at the end. All right. Now, easiest way to do that, and I'm going to do this also with the reason I don't want to add extra. It doesn't really matter too much, but I just don't want to add extra lines. So here's the trick with that. Just it'll be a. See if I already got it saved. Okay, don't have it saved. So all you got to do is do a /r for backslash r backslash n. Alright, so that's just saying this is just a caret return and a new line. That's all we're doing here. And then I'm going to say replace that with a period. /r n. Alright, so this is what's happening. Let's go up and just see if you can find it. Find next. Alright, so yeah, that's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to replace those right there. Alright, so it doesn't make any changes. It's getting rid of that period. So I know that, hey, I'm not going to, for this next part down the line, it's going to make sense. So, okay, let's replace, find next, replace all. Cool. Alright, so 1100 curves. So those are all the periods that end at the end of the line anyway. So I don't need to make a new line out of it, because it's already at the end of a line. Alright. Now what we want to do is we should be good to go. And now what I want to do is start breaking up these sentences. Let's see, trying to find, for example. And I like to scroll through looking at, okay, what do I want to replace? Oh, well, right here, let's just do the same with these right there. So let's do that with, actually, the easy way to do this, I'm going to show you. Now, in these light novels, let's see, yeah, right here. In these light novels, with the question mark and with the exclamation mark, at least in this one, it looks like it was very convenient in that they added a space. So, stop that. Copy. So, what I'm going to do, and it's probably what that is right there. So, I'm just going to. Now, what I want to do is make that with the. That's going to be a new line. Alright, so here we go, and let's go find it. Find next. It's right there. And I'm just going to replace that, replace that, replace that. And if I want to, you can see how, now I physically saw how it works. Okay, cool, this works fine. I'm not too worried about it. Let's replace them all. Alright, 124 times that happens. Going to do the same thing with the exclamation mark. Let's see, do I already have it? I think it's that one there. Yeah, it's that one there. Okay, and there. And if you have this notepad, you can see it saves you what you've been doing searches for and what you're doing replaces for. So that kind of speeds the process up. Awesome. All right, so let's find the next. All right, so I want to replace that. And don't overthink it. Like I said, you're just trying to say, hey, is this working the way it should be? So it's awesome. It looks like it's good, so let's replace them all. Cool. All right, so those are all different lines. All right, last one's going to be the period. All right, period's the tricky one. Let me just make sure. I just want to make sure one little thing. I don't think they're in this book, but just in case. All right, so that's not there. Awesome. So now we're going to replace the period. Same thing, right there. Okay, let's find the next. Okay. Yeah, we'll skip that one real quick. Find next. All right, right there. So now let's start making these new lines. Replace all. Let's just replace it real quick. All right, that's all I'm doing is creating a new line. All right, so let's replace them all. Should be like, yeah, 1,700 occurrences. Awesome. Last one. If you notice, we got a really long line here. Okay. Way we're going to do that, we're going to take that comma. We're going to do the same thing, but we're also going to break apart lines by comma. Copy. Don't worry too much about losing context. I'll explain that in near the end here. Okay, comma. All right, so let's find the next. Okay, we'll skip that for now. All right, right there. And let's replace. And make sure I'm not messing up. Cool. All right, that looks like that's working, so let's just replace them all. 3,500. So we had 1,700 from the periods and 3,500 from the comma. So we've turned something that was maybe about 7,000 lines of text. I don't actually I forgot how long. I'm not too worried about it. But we've added about 5,000 or so lines to this of what was already existing, and now these are all kind of broken up. And you can, if you want to, you can kind of scroll through and say, okay, is this working the way I think it should be working? Because you might have a long line here. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Yeah, so you're going to have some long lines, but that's fine. Morphman, all it's going to do is take those long lines and say, you know what, put them at the bottom. They give you less priority. But for the most part, yeah, this looks pretty good. Like, this is a really long line, but all right, most likely you're not going to be studying that in Morphman. These are some long lines, but again, you're probably not going to study it in Morphman. Fine. But you got 10, you're probably going to be having like 8,000 lines here. So you're not going to worry about every little thing. Awesome. All right, cool. So we got that done. Let's save it. Okay. Now, the next step. We've got this saved. What I do is I'll take all this, select all, and I'll actually add this to full text. So let me bring this here. So what I have here, this is the text file with everything I've studied up to this point. All right. And what I did is I add a little table of contents. So which line does Kimi no Nawa start? So that's going to start on line 36,000. So go all the way down here. Yeah, so line 36,000, and let's just paste that. Oop, it helps if I copied it. Okay, let me get rid of 0 no schema. All right, so copy and paste. Awesome. And yeah, like here, this stuff broke up. Yeah, oh well, life goes on. Cool. I think by the time you don't need to learn your name. All right, so we save that. All right. Now, this is going to come into play once I get into the Morphman side of things. But because I've just saved this, and maybe just for around 40. All right, so that's 45, 8, 10. That's the next light novel, or in this case, TV transcript I'll be adding. So 40. Let me make sure again. 45, 8, 10. Cool. Okay. Before I forget. Okay. All right, awesome. Okay, so that's done. Let's save that. And what I can do is I'll copy this, copy and I'm going to paste it into this thing called full. There's a reason for that. Oop, screwed that up. Paste. Okay, let me get rid of that. Awesome. Reason is, in this particular folder, there's just that one file. There's a reason for it when it comes to the readability program in Morphman. All right. Now, with that, you see right here I have this thing called transcript. So I'm going to bring this up. I should have had this loaded earlier. I apologize. Okay, cool. Let's bring this up here. Okay, I'll tell you what, let me give you something so you can kind of see what the heck I'm doing here. All right, so these are just spreadsheets of shows that I've added. And the reason for this is that I need to add this right here, this index number, so I can easily find a sentence line. All right, so let's add one more. And let's bring back Kimi no... Oh, where's that? Okay, cool. So let's copy this again. Okay, let's come here and paste. Cool. All right, so far nothing. All right, nothing crazy yet. All right, and I'm just going to rename this also. Let's add the name to it. So, Kimi no. All right, Kimi no nawa. All right, now the good thing about Excel, I don't know if Open Spreadsheet does this, but you can do what's called remove duplicates. So you just go up, do a search, and do a search for remove duplicates, and you get this option here. So I'm going to select all. Okay. All right, and as you can see, out of all these lines, 26 or 2,700 of them just got removed. Most of them were spaces. These things right here. Those were the most of the things that were removed. But a few of them were just the same sentence. So let's delete that. All right, cool. Now I need to create the index. So it's going to be Kimi no nawa, and then space 0, 0 actually make sure I didn't mess that up. Okay, I like to have things. Yeah, so you kind of see this is how I do indexes on all the shows. Okay. Now the question is, how many lines do I need? So it looks like, yeah, not too many. Let me do something real quick. Yeah, so I'll just do it with 4. So I just need 4. All right, and then yeah, I can autofill if I wanted to. I'm lazy. Yeah, see, there is a okay, yeah, there is a way you can just do this automatically. I know that. I don't want to mess with it. Why? I should. Now these sentences are a little longer than normal. The captions are on point. Don't know what the context of that is. Maybe I messed up something. Alright, hopefully we're back. Alright, so like I was saying, I'm just going to save this new text file. So again, now this is what I'm going to be importing into Anki. Alright, so it's going to be very similar to this. So MM05, because it's the 5th one I've done. Kimi no. Alright, and I just use text, so Romaji, it doesn't matter. I don't need. You don't even have to go. I could have just done Kimi no. It doesn't matter. All right, save. Awesome. All right, cool. All right, now comes the fun part. So I can probably close these out now. All right, awesome. Let me close this out. No, I'm going to save that. All right, so that should be everything. Now let's bring up Anki. Alrighty. Cool. Now, what you can do with Anki, let me just show you real quick. Let me go up one. Alright, so if you run what's called a readability, you're going to get, well, let's just kind of show you real quick. And let's do a word frequency report study plan. Okay, so these are from the last time when I added the one for Risei no Kizuna. So these are the words that were popped up saying, "Hey, you might want to learn this." So these are ones that Morphman's going to prioritize for you to learn if you do it, if you're following in the setup, which I happen to be doing it. Yeah, and I'm going about the long way of explaining all this. But again, this will start making sense. All right, so first thing you want to do, again, if you've added everything in, now comes you need to import. All right, so let's go to Morphman, because this is the deck, and I'm going to go File, Import. Okay. I don't know why you're doing there, but okay. Okay, let's go Japanese. Let's go Morphman. Transcripts. All right, cool. That's it. And right there, it's going to add that. And yeah, tab separated or text separated by tabs or column or semicolons. Okay, open that. All right. Allow HTML, doesn't matter. Ignore lines where the first field matches, that's fine. Make sure make sure it's under, the type is Morphman. Make sure it's in the type of deck you want. And the deck is Morphman. Just make sure those are what you want. For mapping, in this case I need it in the first and third field. So the first one's going to be the index, so I want to keep that the same. Second one's going to be the expression. Okay, cool. And I just import. Alright, so 69, yes, basically 7,000 lines of text were added. Alright, awesome. So far, so good. Next, I want to go into that particular deck. So let's browse. Let me just show you so you can see what the heck I'm doing. Okay. Alright, so I want to click on Morphman. And the sort field is set for the index. So this index number. This is the focus. So this is the word that Morphman found in the sentence that said, hey, this is an I+1 sentence. And it's this word needs to be learned. That you can learn. Cool. So nothing there. So I am caring about Kimi no Nawa. So let's go and find that real quick. All 7,000 lines. This is where the tedium comes in. Alright. Okay, so highlight that one first, and let's go to the bottom. Alright, so this step is I'm just adding the tag. So go, what the heck did you do? Why did you do that? Okay, Kimi no Nawa up to 7,000. Roughly. Okay, cool. All right, there we go. Now just go to Notes, Add Tags. All right, now in my case, I just say JDI, Japanese Drama Immersion, back when I was using that as a term. You can use Morphman, whatever you want. And I want to do Kimi no Na wa. Cool. Kimi no Nawa. Alright, now all those cards have a tag in there, so they're very easy to find. So if I just want just the Kimi no Nawa cards, JDI Kimi no Nawa. Cool. And that now just have just those. And I can sort them in. Alright. And then they're sorted by line. So cool. Alright, now that part's done. Now comes where, now this is probably going to screw up Anki. Yeah, so when I do this part, this is where Anki kind of messes up. Now you could sync it, so let me sync I'll tell you what, let me sync right now, just because. Now it's going to upload basically all the new sentences, so it's about a few K. This is where maybe having audio playing can help out, so you're not just talking to silence. That's a pretty big file, huh? Now, normally I don't sync. Normally I don't sync before I do the Morphman thing. I'm just doing it just to kind of demonstrate. So you saw like there was like 300K file size uploaded. What's going to happen though, if you wait to sync till after, what'll happen is that you got the benefit of getting rid of a bunch of sentences first. All right. Also, what you can do is, if you're very worried, make a backup and save it. Like, Anki's pretty good about saving backups, but if you're really not sure, you know, again, save another backup just to be safe. Export, whatever it makes you feel comfortable. All right, so what we want to do is go to Tools. Now, what you want to do is, first thing you have to do is run a Readability. You have to run a Readability. Let me think. Yeah. All right, so go to Morphman, Readability Analyzer. All right, so this is what you get if you update to the latest Morphman. You should be able to see it here. Also, make sure to add the Unideck. Okay, so Readability Analyzer. All right, so what I'm doing here is I went into to the folder. Yeah, transcripts full. All right, select the folder. That's the folder where I had just that one file with all the stories which I've done for Let's Reads. Okay, make sure your morphemizer is set to Japanese, and the target I'm going to put is set 95. There's a reason for that. It's like I'm N2 level. 95% is roughly N2 level, so I'm just worried about getting vocabulary up to that point. I might go beyond that. Master frequency list, don't use one. No morphs, just target. If you're not sure, you can target it, but this is in your desktop. Okay, I'm sorry. This is in your app roaming Anki 2 file, Nuke Marine in my case, whatever your user file name is, DBS. Yeah, so if you go here, all this stuff, yeah, just go to Nuke Marine database. That's where they're all at. This is where they get saved at. All right, so this is this is also where you can pick up the the known database. Anyway, I'm going to cancel that because it's already there. And outputs in the same directory. Yeah, it's going to create this. So this is where Anki's probably going to lock up. So I apologize. I might have to do this a couple times for this to work. Here we go. See if this works. Maybe I should press play. Okay, yeah, you see Anki not responding. So hopefully this works. Usually it's faster than this. Come on, dude. Did it lock up? We'll see. But really past this point, this is kind of, yeah, it probably did lock up now. Yeah, I can't remember how long this took. There, okay, good. Awesome. All right, so right now it's saying of this, now before it was around 94%, almost 95%, but now it's down to 93.75. All right, proper nouns, line readability is cool. All right, and there's the study plan. Okay, going up to 95%. Nothing big deal. So if I go to, let's see if I got it saved here. So here's the database again. Now, what I wanted to show you was a little difference here. So here, these are the top words. Like Hayashi had 145 repetition, 145, 70, and this scrolls all the way down to these frequencies of 20, 16, 14, 10. All right, cool. And basically, I'm right around here, around words that are repeating 9 times or more and everything. All right, so that's the old one. Now let's look what it does. So we'll go to, all right, now 193, 108, 89. This one's still here, 78. So you can see the Tay. Yeah, you can see 78. So reason why this one, I don't know why it's still showing this. I clicked it as known, but no, Ariake there. So this obviously was not in Kimi no Nawa. This was from the previous show. But again, it's the benefit here is that now you're going to see vocabulary that's over. Not only that's important for that new novel you added, but also of all the novels you've been studying. And the benefit's going to be you're going to start picking up words that are common throughout all of them, but aren't frequent in that one particular book. But once you get an amalgamation of them, then it starts rising up. Then those are the words that are going to be really important, because these are words that are like common among a bunch of books, and you don't want to miss out on those. All right. So anyway, that's what's happening here. We've generated a study plan. We've generated a frequency list, and Morphman's going to use that. So let's run. All right. So now we're done. So we can close that out. We're just going to run Morphman again, and now we're going to run is. In fact, let me show you real quick, just so if you didn't notice it. So if you can look on Morphman, like all these, there are the indexes at the bottom. These are their due. These are when they're due. This Morphman index is when they're due for being viewed. All right. So basically, this is like priority. And if it's under 100, if under a certain amount, then it's like this one is under priority because it's this low because it's I plus 0.5, which means it's a word I'm currently learning. I haven't learned fully yet. But if you go to but right now, because I just added it, Kimi no Nawa, there is no Morphman index. There is no focus morph. There's nothing. All right, we need to basically we need to add information to those cards. So let's do that. Tools, Morphman. Now we're just going to do recalc. You can also hit Control M. All right, so. Updating the data, cool. Updating the notes, awesome. Now it's adding the information to all the cards for Kimi no Nawa, and it's also reevaluating all the previous cards as well. Like if you haven't run the recalc in a while. All right, awesome. Now let's look. We'll just look at Kimi no Nawa. All right. Now we have information. Notice that this is marked as an I plus 0. So that's why the Morphman index is 999999. Same with that. For those are I plus 1. Now let's look at I plus, we want Kimi no Nawa, and we want to do I plus 1. So we'll hit Control I plus 1. All right, so 2,000 cards in Kimi no Nawa are, 2,000 sentences, sorry, lines. 2,000 sentences in this is one word that you don't know, that likely you don't know. That's not a guarantee, but like this, I don't really know that word. I think it's probably like table of contents or something. Moto romu, and so that's the I don't know what that word is. Ryo, okay, that's real. There, the eyeball, not eyeball, but like your bare eye, your naked eye, something like that. So some of these are going to be I plus 1 words that I actually do know. It just Morphman doesn't know that I know it because I haven't taught it that yet. But this is eventually what you slowly teach Morphman as you keep adding, as you start going through this. So now that we've done this part, now it comes the next. Let's get rid of all those I plus 0 sentences. In fact, let me show you real quick. See all these I plus 0? 4,200. You can't see it actually, but there's 4,200 cards are I plus 0. We don't need those. Those are surprised that has a focus morph. All right. So what you want to do is, now it's I plus 0, but you want to make sure though, you got to be very careful on this. You don't want to get rid of some of these cards that are I plus 0 are marked as known, like this right here, MMM known. That's my tag for, hey, this has a word I know that Morphman didn't thought that I needed to learn. All right. So let's make sure we don't lose those. So we do I plus 0. Then you hit the control button, known. Now you notice right now, and what you want to make sure is that you don't want to put a negative right before the known. Now look at it. Now you're down to 3,700 or 3,800 cards. However, again, sort by, see these right here? These are cards you've studied. You don't want to delete those. So, so you just want to collect one just above it. And by the way, you see this right here, 108,99999. This is an I plus 0 sentence. right? It's just long as hell. That's why this number is so high. The particular index number. That's why this number is so high, is because it's too long, right? That's like, あ、そういえば、高校、卒業、高校卒業したらおごってくれると言ったよねという身に覚えのない、you know, nazo yakusoku. Now this is weird. Like I think that's not nazo, but I guess mei yakusoku, like unknown or mysterious promise. により俺が先輩におごることになり. So it's a long sentence, so but I'm not saying I like understand it completely. Maybe if I bothered. Yeah. Anyway, so let's just get rid of all these I plus 0 sentences. Okay. Shift. All right. So I've selected 3,800 cards. Let's delete them. It's always a scary part, deleting cards, but again, these. So now I'm left. If I go for I plus 0, these should only be known cards. Anything that's I plus 0 now, 600 known cards. That sounds a little off. Yeah. So if I click on known, so 4,700 cards are known. So those are I plus 0 and they're known. And then the others are I plus 0 and then. Now let's look again. So we had 4,700. And then 128 are just cards that I have already learned. All right, that's it. And we're good to go. So we can get out of here and let's synchronize it. So be a few changes. So it's updating all the cards that were added information to it. And it's telling also Anki on the server over there to delete. Is this live stream staying on the channel? Yes, it is. Actually, all the live streams stay on the channel. Okay. Wow. Okay. It's a lot of data going up there. Okay. There we go. All right. So it looks like, yeah, about 700K of data. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you now what happens. So we go into Morphman. Now I've got it set so I'm going to see the new cards first. Normally you want to study new cards after you're done all your reviews. Haven't done my reviews for the day. All right. So we study now. Now that's a name. Mitsuha. So this is Mitsuha. I'm going to add it, but I want to be very careful. So this is the first name since her name's. So if I knew it, let me just see what. We'll just not worry about this a little bit. I'm just burying them for tomorrow, just so I can demonstrate. So if you're not sure, you can always bury it for the next day, and. You know what? Frag it. Let me just add it. Alright, so first thing I want to do. Well, no, because I want to do some stuff first. Alright. Alright, so what you want to do if you're doing stuff like that, let's see. These are all the same anyway. Alright, so let's look at these first three. Okay, we'll say with both hands. All right, so we'll just say it's that one right there. So I'm going to say Alt Control N. I want to study this card right now. All All right, so you hit Alt Control N. That means, hey, I want that card first. All right, so press L. You can see all the cards that use this particular focus morph and study it. Cool. Let's edit this real quick. All right. All right, so normally what I do is I copy the focus morph and I paste it down here in the expression. Awesome. And then down here for the reading, going to be coming up. Okay, so Mitsuba, Mitsuha. I think for her it's Mitsuha. So let me just say Mitsuha. All right. And then I just add another space here in between the dash. It's just because of how appearance if. And if I want to, I can put our full name. In fact, I might go back later and make sure I add our full name from the book. Usually when I add characters, I want to say here's a character. If it's an actor, like it's from a drama, then I'll add the actor's information down here just for fun. But it's not something I study. It's just, hey, it's there for reference. And it's similar to me. You don't need to have a meaning for the name. Now, if it's a kanji, I might add the kanji information if I need to know that. So it's Mitsuha Yotsuba. It's Mitsuha Yotsuba, and I forgot the grandmother's name. All right, cool. I think that's it. So we'll just say close that out. Cool, and then say awesome, good. Let's there's the answer. Mitsuha no kaeta bunsho. Oh, okay, whatever. That wasn't the one I meant to give, but all right, fine. Good. Like here, now this is this one for comment. Suise, something like that. I would add this, you know, even though yeah. All right. Anyway, so this is what's kind of, well, I was hoping what would happen is that a lot of words would show up at first that are that you knew because you did a reading on it, but these are I'm not going to waste too much time on that. Yeah. So just, yeah, so anyway, here you go. Yeah, I could show you how I do a studying, but pretty much what I do is I look this up on Yomi-chan, and in fact, I'll just show you real quick. So let me have this off to the side. Cool. So let's just say Yomi-chan right there. And also what I do for Morphman, see right here the full text here. In fact, this is what I forgot. I did forget to do one thing. I'll show you real quick. So let me bring here full full right there. So this is all the shows, right? Why are you doing that? Am I missing something? Okay. Alright, so we got there, and we want to do also Kimi no Nawa. So let's select all these, select all, copy, paste. Cool. There we go, and let's save it. Alright. The reason why I do this, so I'm going to take this full list, put it right here. Okay. There it is. The reason why I do this is context. So if I see a sentence, it's like, hey, what's the context? Like, it's like I like to know the context as to why the sentence was being spoken, because I may not have it memorized as to where the sentence came in. So I can actually just go through, let's say here, and this is line, it says right there, 340. So I just, you know, I can actually do Control F, but you know, it's not too difficult. I can just do it here. 340, and there it is. And then right here I can quickly see the context of everything. So this is like the, you know, this is talking about the comment that was just showing up on NHK News broadcast, you know. So that, and so if I want to add extra information for context, I can. I don't normally need to. This is just in case, and this makes it much easier than trying to add all this extra information onto the card when most of the time you don't need that extra information. So this is just in case. This is the main thing I really care about. So all I do is like, let me just copy this. Let's say it's a word I don't know. In this case, I'm adding because definitely for that kanji. And there it is, suise. Oh, the tail of a comment. All right, cool. So there I go there. All right, awesome. So I say, all right, that's awesome. All right, I want to learn the word. So I press L because I want to see, okay, what are some sentences using this? Let's see. That's a good one. But I'm just going to keep it with the first one. That first one's fine. Vaya geta. Voy a get. Voy a get. Voy a get. So, soro. Okay, yeah, that one's a good one. Right there, I like that. And you don't have to, you can find some other words if you want. I mean, you're not limited. Yeah, that's a good one, because I can visualize. So I just hit Control-Alt-N. There. Now this is now this sentence gets priority, so I get to learn it real quick. Study it. Okay, put it over here. Alright, first thing I want to do, let's paste that. Awesome. And since I kind of already know this, is that... Tell you what, just sometimes for Yomi-chan, you might just want to put the kana of the word. Yeah. In this case, it didn't change anything, but so it's also a word for Mercury. That's interesting. Okay, but suise. If I want to, I can add that. I think that's a little overkill. So I'm just going to put this right here, suise. So I'll put that under meaning. Actually, no, I'll take that back. I want this one. I want this one because it has the pitch accent. So suise. Alright, and yeah, tail of the comment, so I can put that right there. I kind of already know what it is, but in fact, I do know what it is. I don't have to put it there. I was mainly doing it because of the pronunciation. Alright, that's about it. Cool. And the reading will pop up right here. Let's see. Alright, cool. So the reading pops up, and I just add a little extra space just for the visuals of it. Cool. Alright, there we go. So there it is. Suise, Tokyo no so you don't have to read it, but Mita Suise. Okay, cool. And then you got that's pretty much it. That's a good card. This is Tsukasa. Tsukasa? I mean, that's a name. Let's make sure, hopefully I'm saying it right. Tsukasa. Yeah, Tsukasa. Yeah, so that one I don't need to worry about because that's just the name. If I were an actor, I might add it just because the actor's information. But yeah, so I just press K, and it's a known one. So, in fact, let me just make sure you can see this. So here's what happens if it's a card that is known. Okay. So K. 13 alternatives will be skipped. Okay. Saya, let's see. Saya-chan. Can't remember which character was Saya. Yeah, okay, I'm assuming that's the friend. And yeah. Anyway, so it's something like that. Or if I want to, I can add the picture of the, like if I can't quite remember which one was Tsukasa, I can add, like go into the wiki. So let's do Kimi no Nawa wiki and just go there, and most likely you're going to have all the character names, and yeah, just add a photo of the character just for extra reference. Like I can't remember who was Tsukasa in the story, so maybe that would have been a better one. In fact, let me do that real quick. Let me do. All right, so let me undo this one. Let me just skip her. Let's see how many times it's going to skip. How many times this person named? Oh, okay. Now, here's a Ba-chan. Yeah, so this is like a grandmother, Ba-chan. And I know the kanji, so the kanji for old lady. So yeah, I would just click K for known. And 31 alternatives. Ryu, so this is Ryu-kun. Let me just make sure. So this is Taki. Sorry, this is Taki. This is waterfall. Sorry. Sorry about that. But yeah, if you're not sure, just look it up. And again, these are people's names. No big deal. Taki. Yeah, waterfall. Yeah, Taki-kun. So I'm not no need to save that, and that's the main character anyway. Tsu. Eat to. That one is just that's not too worried about that one. Okay, oishi or umai. Let's see. Odoroku gurai oishikute. Okay, so it's probably you already know that one. Huke. All right, so now here you notice this. This is zero's familiar. So again, this is now. Why is this showing up? All right, because what happens is like this word's probably appeared in quite a few books. So let's look at let's look at the list. 17 cards. All right. I bet you if I looked for, in fact, let me show you something real quick. So that was 17. So in fact, let me go even further. How many cards is this? 34. This is repeated 34. This appears 34 times. All right. So let's do something real quick. Copy. All right. So here, and again, I'm just demonstrating. These are kind of like right here, this frequency. Okay, Control F. So right here, frequency of 2. So this was showing up in the other stories like twice. It appeared 15 or a few more times in the. I guess it appears a few more times in君の名は. That could just be a reason why it popped up. But again, it's been showing up in other stories as well. So that's just something useful to know that. As you keep adding stories like this, if you're doing it in a way in which I'm doing it, you're going to find out that, yeah, it's like these are words that you've been seeing, but you just didn't realize you've been seeing them, just because it was an unknown word. But you slowly start learning words, and then it starts coming up. Anyway, do you think going through Take Him would be good? I'm using Genki. If you're using Genki, use Genki. Just don't study sideways. Study forward. So Genki and Take Him, that's like studying the same stuff. Yeah, slightly variants of it. You don't need to worry about that. So yeah, just move forward. Just get through Genki, trust in it, and I don't know what Minano is, but you're probably just fine with just Genki, because again, it has. If you do finish Genki 1 and 2, you've got about 1,700 vocabulary words. I don't know how many sentences, but there's quite a. There's about 350 or so 325 kanji. So yeah. Anyway, since my wife's coming back home, I'm gonna call this a day. So thank you all very much. Hopefully this kind of made sense. Let me synchronize this. And apologize for this being a mess, because I was doing this live and there was, I was kind of being flustered and whatnot. But yeah, this seemed to work out pretty good. And yeah, hopefully this makes sense. It's scary the first time you try it, but as you keep doing it, it starts making sense. Like, okay, and the reasons for it hopefully make sense as well, as to why I was trying to make everything a single sentence, why I was, adding index numbers to it, to help find stuff, why I was creating just a single file with all the stories in it. Again, it's just because of the way Morphman works, and it was a benefit I got because this is material I've read like a year and a half ago, or almost a year and a half ago. And I'm going to be catching up to stuff that I've just been reading recently, and I want to learn vocabulary. And I'm finding out, like, by doing Morphman, I'm learning the words faster, because these are words from materials that I have enjoyed. I read. You can also use Morphman in preparation of a show you're watching. Like I think that's what Navy Dave does. He does it for shows that he is actively watching at the moment. And that works as well. So it depends on how you want to take it. Last thing is about Morphman. Morphman is a good intermediate tool. You want to use structured material, Tango books, Genki, Take Him, whatever. Use the structured material for your beginning stuff. Try to get up to about 2,000 to 4,000 words. Okay, round about that mark, that's where Morphman comes into play. And now you can just start learning. It's finding words up to about from 4,000 words, maybe up to about the 12,000 word mark. That's where. So really, up after you get to the advanced levels, as far as Japanese learning is concerned, that's where Morphman can be very useful. But after about the 12,000th word, after there, there will be problems where Morphman is skipping over stuff that are phrases. Phrases start becoming much more important beyond that, because it's not individual words, even though people may know what these individual words are, but there are going to be phrases that are in themselves kind of like words when you think about it, because together they take on a different meaning than their individual parts would have you imagine, and it may be difficult to get that. And that can help prevent you from misunderstanding something that would have been help you from misunderstanding something, because you know you happen to know the two words rather well, but you never heard the phrase, so you misinterpreted this. What would have been a native would have understood what this phrase meant, and anyway, kind of like like a pig in a poke, or a blind pig finds an acorn once in a while, or even something about even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while, something like that. These are, maybe that makes sense. Yeah, maybe I picked the wrong phrase, but just that there might be a phrase that, yeah, it just has a different context than the words suggest. And you probably already you already run into those, by in your intermediate studies. But I get the feeling when I get to the advanced levels, that's going to become much more apparent. And so by then, that's when you just got to really just do. If you're going to do sentence mining, yeah, you just stick with that. Yeah, cool. Anyway, that's way down the line for me. So yeah, thank you all very much. This is Nuke Marine. Hopefully this was interesting. If not, I apologize. And thank you for your comments. And I'll be back later, probably tomorrow, with a Let's Read of continuing with Full Metal Alchemist. Cool. All right, thank you all very much. And yeah, see you. Thanks for watching.